Good morning, Westlake High School. I'm Michelle Corey.
And I'm Ruby Darwish, and this is the WHBS TV Friday Morning News.
Westlake High School recently entered in the STEM business plan competition. Some of our very own students are moving to the state competition. We spoke to them about their win.
So me and Izzy designed a business to create blue light blocking contacts because that was not a thing that had been invented previously. There was only blue light glasses. Izzy actually came up with the idea and then we collaborated on it. We both have blue light glasses, so we just decided that contacts would be an easier way for people to be protecting their eyes.
One of the problems I noticed in humanitarian relief was that there was a lack of practical, portable, and cost-effective shelter in emergency situations. I created a wearable rain jacket that could transform into a tent.
How did you come up with this idea?
I was working on an Eagle Scout project about 2 years ago for a similar problem faced by Cleveland's homeless community. When I read an article in the New York Times about the Haiti earthquakes, and I realized that what I was working on could be applied to that.
Waterwares is a business that designs scales that you put onto your drain that weighs the amount of water that you're using. It's connected to an app that you can download on your iPad or iPhone that charts a graph of the water that you're using while it's in use. Being able to see how much water you're using in real time allows people to reflect on how much water they're actually using and make cutbacks, which helps environmentally and financially.
I teach a class called Entrepreneurship, and my students in this class enter a business plan competition through Believe in Ohio. And it takes us about 3 weeks to a month to develop our plans. They compete with each other. So 3 people just within my class were given cash awards. And from there, they go on to the regional competition, the winners in my class.
What was your favorite part of the competition?
Finally seeing everything come together in the plan after months of working was very satisfying.
A lot of entrepreneurship classes do a business plan, but it's not necessarily that exciting if it's just for a grade. So it's kind of a way for them to compete for money. So it kind of makes it fun and exciting to add competition to it and have other people outside the school see their plans.
To be an entrepreneur, you don't have to come up with something extravagant. You can come up with something plain and simple, as long as it's something that solves some sort of a problem.
This is Megan Wacker with your weekly sports update. Congratulations to Grace Kelsheimer for ranking number 15 in the state for diving and Luke Heberly for ranking 18th in the state for the 100 free. Luke was also named as the SWC MVP in boys swimming.
And congratulations to Khaled Asghar for competing at the state wrestling championships last week.
Congratulations to all our winter sport athletes named to all SWC teams. Boys bowling, second team, Jack Finucane. Honorable mention, Andrew Bodie, Paul Rossander. Girls bowling, second team, Gabrielle Hansen. Honorable mention, Annabelle Bodie, Taylor Hedges. Gymnastic, honorable mention, Olivia Skirma, Nadia Milovich. Hockey, second team, Luca Bohan. Honorable mention, Colt Rujewitz, Alex Renziak. Girls swimming, second team, Grace Kelsheimer, Maggie Tobin, Emily Tobin, Sydney Peer, Julia Hauser. Honorable mention, Lindsay Burrows, Anna Curtis. Boys swimming, first team, Shane Quinn, Liam Pernay, Luke Heberly, Landon Clark. Honorable mention, Ryan Forshee, Hamza Saad. Boys basketball, second team, Cal Regai. Honorable mention, Justin Garcia, Will Ostrowski. Girls basketball, first team, Summer Salem. Second team, Abby Gardner. Honorable mention, Katie Weitzel, Anna Williams. Wrestling, second team, Aiden Ashburn, Cole Uhas, Mo Zayed. Honorable mention, Mackie Keenan, Gavin Carmichael.
Cheerleading, first team, Marissa Wise, Gabby Backus. Second team, Jane Jolliffe, Hannah Melowick. Honorable mention, Sophia Bell, Sydney Shones.
What is first team SWC and how do you become that?
First Team SWC is based on our SWC competition that we had. Your coach from your team nominates you, and then all the other coaches from the SWC vote on who makes first team, second team, and honorable mention based on your performance at the SWC competition.
How would you describe the role of a cheerleader?
A lot of people probably wouldn't say that it's a sport necessarily, but we actually have 3 seasons a year. So I guess like being a role model for the entire city and going to games and just leading spirit overall.
How or who creates the cheer routines?
Our coach Bianca creates the cheer routines. She makes up all the moves and the words and picks the music. So it's a big job, but she can handle it.
Why did you guys decide to be cheerleaders?
I was actually put into cheer when I was like in kindergarten with the Dream and Demons program that we do with kindergarten through 6th graders. So I've just like loved it since I was back in kindergarten, and it's really just like a fun way to have school spirit and hang out with your friends every day.
Welcome to Movie Talk. I'm Andrew Strincioni.
And I'm Mason Cruzy, and today we'll be talking about Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. Goodfellas explores the life of Henry Hill, who's always wanted to be a gangster, as he works his way into the mafia.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting quotes throughout the movie. It's a very quotable movie.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh, I'm here to amuse you. Now go home and get your shine box.
The writing and Martin Scorsese's filmmaking definitely makes for one of those movies where you kind of forget that you're watching a movie. The one specific time where just a creative choice was made that took me out of it, and that was the diner scene towards the end, where the camera was backing up as they were zooming in, and that kind of took me out of it.
But I think it made sense because the goal of that effect is to make you feel uneasy, and that's just the feeling of how Jimmy was at that point. He was on edge, feeling uneasy. He has a very unique style. For example, his whip pans, his good use of slow motion to really emphasize different parts. And I really think the voiceover adds a lot to it too.
Wise guys would pull up and Tootie would toss me their keys and let me park their Cadillacs. I mean, here I am, this little kid, I can't even see over the steering wheel, and I'm parking Cadillacs.
During that phone booth scene when Jimmy realizes that Tommy has been whacked, and the camera movement is so frantic and it works so well, I love it.
And as the last day as a gangster, for example, he used jump cuts, and actually during the car scene, he cut back to Henry slamming on the brakes twice. So you kind of get the feeling that, the brakes aren't working almost.
I love how Scorsese gradually shows how the life of being a gangster goes less and less glamorous. And it does get more frantic. And I think his filmmaking reflects that throughout. In the beginning, he loves the lifestyle, he's got everything, and by the end, well gosh, he's just a nobody.
And Scorsese says that he pictures music playing against different shots while he was just in pre-production. The music really matches each scenario perfectly.
And it's just such a great use of music from the eras that are portrayed.
Thank you, sir. All right, see you later. Thanks.
I thought it was interesting when he had Billy Bats in the trunk and they go visit Joe Pesci's mom. And it's really Martin Scorsese's mom that plays her. Oh, and also then in the prison scene, Scorsese's dad makes a cameo. I really like the opening scene, the restaurant scene, also when we meet the gang. I'd give this film a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorites.
My favorite scene is when Tommy gets whacked and we see Jimmy's reaction in the phone booth. Filmmaking, everything about that scene, I just love it. And I'd give this film a 9 out of 10.
This has been Movie Talk with Andrew Strincioni
and Mason Cruzy.
This was Ruby Darwish and Michelle Corey with the WHPS TV Friday Morning News.